Welcome to the stream, everybody. Wait a moment, and here we are with Patrick. Welcome, Patrick. How are you
What's
doing?
up? What's up, brother? Michele. You got to say it. You got to Michele. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir. That's right.
With a little bit of the Italian spin.
You are one of the few people able to actually say my name. On YouTube, it's impossible.
I practiced. I've been rehearsing just to make sure I pronounced it correctly. But
Welcome to the
you
stream,
have to
everybody.
think you have to eat spaghetti before you actually pronounce your name. So I ate some spaghetti last night, and I'm a good. Michele. Let's have a conversation, Michele.
I think you ate something different than spaghetti yesterday. You
I
were.
I sure did, brother. I sure did. I ate some funky Chinese food. Actually, and last night I was kind of feeling the pain there a little bit for some reason.
What happened? Like, what did you eat? Let us know because my viewers maybe they have not seen you on the other show and they might be interested.
Do you want me to break it out now?
Yeah, let's
Good.
go natural. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We don't follow any rules on this show. Like,
No
if you want to
rules.
share something, go for it.
All right. Well, what I say is, well, let's do this. I'm going to break out. Now, you might want to give a viewer discretion if somebody has, like my sister-in-law, California, Cassie. I don't know if she's watching or not, but whenever she sees something really gross, she has this gag reflex. She'll just look at something gross and go. So I do this for you, Cassie, if you happen to be watching. Look at that.
Oh, a pig nose?
Yeah,
Or
pig snout.
that's
Look at that.
interesting.
Yes. Now you'll notice this was actually from yesterday's show. I took a bite out of the snout, and just to prove that I can do it, you want me to eat it again?
If you feel like eating again so early in the morning, because in China and in Asia it is so early. If you're connected from US, it's night, evening. But if you're here, it's 9
Well,
a.m. In Thailand and 10 a.m. in China.
it's what's funny. I think of like the typical American breakfast. It could be like cereal, Cocoa Puffs, Fruit Loops, or might be bacon and eggs. This is not my idea of breakfast. On the breakfast menu, but for shock value and just having some fun, I'll take a bite out of it. Now,
Yeah,
I've got my
let's see.
microphone here, so for effect, I'm going to take a bite very close to it so everybody can hear the
I'll
crunch.
put you on the center of the screen so we
All
can
right.
admire you.
Look at that. It makes a great Halloween mask, huh?
It fits. Yeah,
It fits, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is it fits my nose because I've got the typical, well, I would say typical. I've got a probably larger size nose than normal. So this fits just perfect. But all right. This is for the viewers. Thanks guys for joining us. What a way to kick off a show, huh? All right.
Yeah, I love it. I can see the satisfaction.
There you go.
You actually put perfect.
Yeah, I took a big bite
So,
out of it. And it tastes like pork. I mean, it tastes like what they
does it
typically
taste
do.
like a sausage or?
It just tastes like a slice of pork. That's all it does. What they typically do, you don't normally eat the nose like this. They cut it I got to get used to my camera position, but they cut it in small slices like this.
Okay.
So it doesn't have the nose look. So it's not as intimidating when you eat it in slices. But from the nose standpoint, yeah, it's good. It tastes good. It's a little salty. They salt it pretty good. It was in the refrigerator last night. So, all right.
I see.
Oh,
Some
I
people
didn't.
ask if it tastes like chicken, but guys, it is pork. Like,
It is
why should it
pork.
taste
Yeah,
like chicken?
it didn't. Pork tastes like pork. It doesn't taste like chicken. So the other one, and I didn't do this yesterday. I did it actually the show before last. I got a century egg,
Look,
and they
they are already complaining in the comments. Doesn't
yeah,
look appetizing at all.
Beach Boy 619. That doesn't look appetizing. Come on, Beach Boy. I'll be happy to send you a truckload of snouts that you can live on for the rest of your life. It's not
Okay.
that bad. It's really not that bad. It might take a little, in Texas, everything, barbecue goes on everything. So barbecue sauce would be really good on this. All right, let me see if I can open the Century egg.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I have to get real tight. I should have had this prepared beforehand, but that's all right.
No, 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 no. We want to see the hardness of such a product.
Yes, yes. Now you can buy these either packaged like this,
Okay.
or a lot of times when you're walking down the street, or even at the local grocery store, they'll have these things packed in mud. And to be honest with you, I don't know the aging, but they're aged eggs. I think anywhere from 10 days to a month, they'll kind of let these, cure, for lack of better terms. But
Okay.
it looks like an egg. I'm just making a mess here. I'm cracking the egg here. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I got the wrong egg.
Oh, you really? You got a normal egg?
No, I got a duck egg. I said,
Really?
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have.
Oh, such a disappointment.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, uh, I'll show you what a duck egg looks like. These are really salty,
They're
very
pretty
salty.
gray inside. No, or
Yeah, it's pretty gray inside. Yeah, I grabbed the wrong egg. If I hear if I hear Tway Tway in the back, I'll have her get me a Century egg later in the
look,
show.
I'm getting an interesting comment. I don't know if you can confirm it.
What Patrick must poo for days with the crap he eats. Well,
Is it
I
right or?
there's some meals I will tell you, some meal like a hot pot. In hot pot they have this. I mean, it's a big bowl, iron bowl, and they've got a flame under it, and they've got they pour water in there, but also this oil, this hot pot oil and spices, and that's if you ask for extra spicy, I will. And the problem is, I love it. It's like a love-hate relationship with it. My mouth loves it, but the next day, the back end doesn't love it. It's very, very painful. But yeah, to answer his question, that depending on what I eat, yes, I can have more problems the next
But
day.
I think it's the same when you eat super spicy. I don't know if you like spicy. I do love spicy, but at the end, you're gonna feel some pain. Let's say.
There's a cost reward line of thinking. You have to determine whether it's going to be worth it the next day. But what I've learned to do when I'm eating hot pot here in Chongqing, and by the way, hot pot is probably one of the most famous meals here in Chongqing.
Can you describe it a bit better? Maybe not. Most of the people maybe they haven't seen what a hot pot looks like.
So, okay, when you go to a hot pot restaurant, you've got this big square table, and in the middle of the table, you've got this huge pot. I mean, it's probably, some pots are maybe 2.5 feet across, and people sit all around this square, and they pour water in there. They pour spices, Sichuan pepper, this spicy Sichuan oil, different vegetables in there, and it's almost as dark red as my Texas Tech hat here. It's dark red, and you can order probably some of the most funky foods that you would ever imagine eating. Quail eggs, which, by the way, I do have some quail eggs here.
No doubt.
Yes, you can eat quail eggs, duck intestines, cow intestines. You can eat, stomach. You can eat cow stomach in
There is
there.
actually a video by reporter Fry Media that is showing what he ate during a hot pot, and that video kind of blew up, and
Yeah,
it
it's
is on his channel.
yeah you got to check out that video because it's an interesting meal, but it's not. The thing I like about hot pot, I mean, it's a ton of great food. By the way, you can order pig brain. And Tway Tway, my girlfriend, she loves pig brain. And I actually, on the show yesterday, I ate some pig brain. We ended up eating the rest of it, so I don't have any of that left. But if you go back on one of the latest video, or I guess the video before last, that has me eating the pig brain, if you want to watch that.
Okay, I can tell you a funny experience regarding the pig brain or another brain. Actually, in Italy, we eat everything. So sometimes when I learn stuff about China, we are like, they are about family oriented and so on. So we are pretty similar. And I do remember once we were in this restaurant where you eat a typical pasta from Rome, which could
Hmm.
be carbonara, matriciana, and so on. And after the second plate, they came at our table, the waitress, and they had this special plate, and they were like, "This is offered by the house." And I mean, me and the other guys, we already knew what it was. But the girls sitting with us, they were like, "What's that?" And we were like, "Oh, try it, have no problem, it's delicious." After they ate it, they were pretty happy about it. But when we told them it was brain, it was like
They didn't like
we
it, huh?
didn't lose the date, but it's like,
That, that
we were
that,
kind of.
that's a
It
bait and
was a
switch
weird
right there,
moment.
buddy. Do you like Big Brain?
I think I like everything, but it should be cooked properly. Like it could be the most disgusting thing, but if they know how to cook it, I can eat it.
Yeah. You
Uh,
have when you cook it in hot pot, you have to. I've noticed Tway, like I've reached in to grab some of it, and she says, "No, you need to let it cook longer," and it's anywhere from like 15 to 20 minutes of cooking.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it has, it's not as it looks gross, and just the thought of eating a pig brain just sounds nasty, but it's really not that bad. And then when they put it in the hot pot, it soaks up all the spices, so it really essentially tastes like that. All you're left with at that point is just the texture of it, and the textures. If you've had tofu, it's just pretty much like tofu. It's not
Look,
bad.
Arthur. We have Arthur already donating money to buy a pig nose to try.
Nice, thank you, Arthur Crego. Crego, is that how you pronounce Crego?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, in Italian we would call it Crego. I don't know. Depends. Every country
Okay.
pronounces it pretty different. Thank you so much, Arthur.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, if for my viewers that are watching that have tried to make some donations, or I guess they call them super chats. I forget what it is, but I have not monetized my channel yet. I've hit all the requirements. They just haven't approved it to,
Oh
which,
yeah, it may take more than a week because nowadays they are understaffed because of Corona. So
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So,
yeah,
and two, as far as like seeing people's chats, I don't see it. Yeah, I get distracted real easy, so I want to kind of focus on the conversation. But maybe you can bring up as the WeChats come in, just bring them up like you're doing. I want to go
yeah,
back.
I will bring.
I want to
Sure,
go
sure,
back
go.
to the hot pot. It's I talk about how great the food is, how good it is, but it's not only that. It's the experiment, the experience and the interaction that you have with other people. You walk into a hot pot restaurant in Chongqing, or I'm sure anywhere in China. I mean, it's a family gathering, it's a friend gathering, it's a very boisterous, loud conversation. I mean, in Chongqing especially, they talk extremely loud, so you can hear tons of people talking, laughing, and just having a good time. And it's not like in America when we go to the restaurant, we just scarf things down and then we go. There, it's a 3 hour ordeal, and I'm sure the same thing is in Italy, right? Where people
I
just sit
agree
for
actually.
hours, huh?
Especially if it's the evening, you can start the day by doing an aperitif with your friends, and usually the aperitif may last like 1 hour. You buy one drink, and then you can eat everything you see on the tables. You can refill your plate multiple times, and if you want, you can get fat over there, but otherwise, after the aperitif, if you have some money left, but usually the aperitif must be cheap, max €10 per person, you move on to the restaurant, and to the restaurant you continue the conversation with your friends.
Uh huh.
And if you're still surviving wine or beer and so on, you might move to the pub later. But by then you're probably too full, or you have no more space for drinks.
In Italy, do they do this one? Is it a once a week ordeal, or is it like every other night? I mean, is it quite often during the week that that family and friends get together like this?
No, let's say depends on where you are or depends who are your friends. Usually, it's most common that all the tables are full in the weekends, but the aperitif is best done after work.
Ah, okay.
So you
Okay.
gather together like at 7 p.m. or at 6 p.m. and just after work you decide, okay, let's have a drink together, and you get all these little snacks, which there could be lots of type of pizzas. Actually, I have a video on my channel about aperitif, but it's like 4 or 5 years old. So it's like if people want, they can check the word aperitif. Let me write it. Aperitif. I don't know if.
Okay.
Uh,
Is that the name of the
oh,
video you said?
uh, they don't need to check my video. Any
Oh,
video is good. It's a good video probably,
okay.
and
Okay.
that's fine.
So
So
have you had hot
you have
pot
an
yet?
interesting story, and no, I had something similar. Uh, I don't know if it's called hot. Yeah, actually I had hot, but it's in one of my upcoming videos. uh, it's the Thai version of the hot pot, because
Okay.
we had the center of the table. They were boiling everything, and we were with two tigers, and they practically cooked everything for us in front of us. And I was with one of my subscribers. I met this guy through the live stream. He brought me on the live stream. We met on the street. We were one hotel next to the other, and we decided to go eat together. And he knew these two girls, and it was amazing. Like we had like no stop, no limit fish for like $7.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cheap. Hey, that's the way China is. It's super cheap. You know, you're talking about the cost of food. So you see this basket here?
Yes.
Okay. Yesterday, or a couple of day before yesterday, we went to up to Ubay, which is, you know, probably about a 20-minute drive from where we live. And there's a grocery store there. It's a high-end grocery store. And they had baskets of strawberries in this. I mean, all the way to the top. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So, and I don't know what it is. The conversion is in kilograms. Maybe you can do that for me. But in pounds, this was about 12 pounds of strawberries.
Okay.
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 So we bought two, but for one basket, you paid. See if I can get it up in the camera right. Oops, got it upside down.
How much
30
is in
kwai.
dollars?
30 kwai. That's about $3 to $4. So for
Three to four
12,
dollars.
yeah, 12 pounds of strawberries, which in the
So it's
United
like
States,
6 kilos, I think, seven
yeah.
kilos or something.
I mean, it's the food is cheap. Whether you go to a restaurant, you're buying. I mean, now if you buy anything kind of Western like clothing and stuff, it can be really expensive. But food here, eating out, I mean, you can eat like a king here on a very small budget. So I didn't mean you were going
Yeah.
to ask me. You were going to ask me a question. I interrupted you, but I thought I wanted to
No, no,
say
no,
that
no.
before.
I actually even forgot the question. We always move on forward. It's like when you're speaking about cheap food and maybe expensive clothing is from Western brands, you make me think about Eastern Europe, because over there I can afford to go to the restaurants. In Italy, I usually avoid unless there is a special occasion, but if I am traveling in Poland or if I go to Ukraine or if I go anywhere in Eastern Europe, I'm like, okay, tonight I'm gonna eat in the restaurants, and it's unbelievable. Like you can choose everything from the menu, and you're able to say, yeah, I can afford it, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's not so easy to have such a feeling, but yeah. One thing I was very curious about, it was your life story is pretty interesting. You come from Texas. I don't know if your
Correct.
video is frozen right now. Let's see, guys. If Patrick is frozen, we we're gonna think about. Oh, we're gonna check the chat. Are you there?
I'm still, I'm still here.
Oh, still here. Okay, you should be appearing on the screen. Let me change.
Now we got to tell the subscribers and viewers that you're in Thailand, right? So
Whoa.
there could be A
I don't know if
bit.
it's my connection. Wait, is it my connection or your connection that is not working? Oh,
You there?
okay, I'm here. Yes,
All
we
right. All
received the
right.
we received the donation, but
Nice.
is it on my channel or your channel? Your channel is not. JKO, thank you so much. $25. Wow.
Sweet.
Thank you. I think
Very
we're
nice.
gonna share dinner with Patrick later.
Yes.
I will come to Chongqing as soon as possible, as soon as the borders they will open. So we're gonna share dinner for sure, and it's paid by the subscribers. Thank you so much,
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah. Thank y'all very
Okay,
much. Appreciate it.
we are back live, so let's go back full screen. And we were sharing your story because so tell me how it started. You were pretty successful in Texas. You had some huge collaborations. I call them collaborations because I am into YouTube. You worked with Jerry Seinfeld, and
Yep.
you participated to 37 audiobooks. Can you share me a bit more about this experience? I want to know, like, especially the book side and the comedy side. I'm really curious.
Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you about it. So, um, actually, I started doing stand-up comedy in high school, junior, senior in high school at the local comedy club in Amarillo, Texas. It's called Jolly's. I was going up there quite often, as opposed to going to the basketball court with friends. I was going to the comedy club and honing my skills. I went to college and Texas Tech University and was doing stand up at the club's now closed, but it's called Froggy Bottoms in Lubbock, Texas, and was going up there quite often. Well, Texas Tech, my university, had a competition, and it was called the funniest collegiate comic in the United States. So it was a national competition where colleges all over the United States were holding a competition to see who was the funniest, college student. And I entered there, went on for 15 minutes, was probably in front of about 1,500 people. I won at Tech. I went to regionals and I won at regionals. Then I went to nationals in Daytona Beach, Florida, and placed third there. But the host of the show, and it was on MTV and all these different TV channels, the host was Jerry Seinfeld. So we before the show, the myself and the two other comics that were going to go up, he was sharing his story about about how they were starting to develop this new show called the Seinfeld Show. And actually, the next day, he was going up either to Boston or New York to meet with some casting agents so they could start casting for the show. And he was telling us, his idea, what he wanted to, what he wanted to do, what he wanted to accomplish in it. And his show ended up being, I think it was one of the longest running sitcoms in American history. I want to say 10 or
Wow.
12 years. I know somebody will probably correct me on that, but it was one of the longest shows. And, it was because the guy was super clean and he was just super quick, very witty, and just a very entertaining show. So that's how I met Jerry Seinfeld. But what's funny is after that, you would have thought I would have gone on, started touring the United States, going to clubs, which I had thought about, but I decided instead to go into the corporate world. I ended up getting into institutional investments, capital markets, wholesaling investments to different brokerage firms,
Okay,
different
okay.
banks. And around 2000, well, it was around 2008 when we had the crash, big financial crisis. I was actually working for AIG at the time. They held on to us for a little bit. They ended up laying me off. And, I kind of bounced around between corporate jobs in the investment world, but got laid off another 2 or 3 times. I even got fired once. It was the last corporate job I had because I had lost my trust. I had lost my love for what I was doing.
I
And
have a question. Sorry to
sure.
interrupt you, but
No, you're good.
was it was the thing about your age? Was the thing about your parents pushing you? What was about? Because nowadays it's very common to say follow your passions, but w- we're having a bit of an age gap between me and you. So was it forced from the outside to not follow your passion and go into the corporate world, or it's something you decided by yourself? How did it happen?
No, that's a really good question because, well, first of all, I'll say my mom and dad, my entire family have been supportive in all my endeavors. My dad was, and unfortunately, he passed away back in 1999. But my dad was, he was like, "You got to do what makes you happy." And yeah, you do want to make an income and be able to pay your bills and that kind of thing. He says, but the most important thing is following your dreams. And if your dream is to be an actor, if your dream is to be a comic, I want you to pursue it with everything that you've got. The reason why I didn't go into acting or comedy at the time is because I want to say a societal pressure to integrate, and I'm going to use the Matrix. Integrate, if you've ever watched the movie Matrix,
Of course I
to
did.
watch them to get integrate into the societal corporate world Matrix and be a productive citizen of the United States. That was kind of more of an internal pressure. And do I regret it? No. I mean, a lot of great things came out of that. A lot of things that I've learned about myself, about life, about people, about the corporate world. Um, if I had a time machine, would I go back and do things differently? Probably would. I would probably move out to LA, become, do the do the comedy, do acting, that kind of thing. But we can't do that. So, um, I don't know if that answers your question, but it was more of a internal societal pressure that
Yeah,
I felt on me to
I feel it.
integrate into the matrix.
I've always been fascinated by the American universities because you have this huge campus where I don't know if it was your case, where everybody is together. It's like a district full of students, and actually it was one of my dreams growing up. I I wanted the basketball scholarship. You were
Wow.
in the club, and I was playing basketball all the time. And actually, nowadays in Texas Tech, there is an Italian basketball player. He's American Italian, but
Oh, nice, nice. I didn't know
I
that.
can. He's probably gonna go play in the NBA next year. So,
Wow, that's awesome.
y- yeah. I mean,
You know,
hopefully,
perfect
or
timing too, because I posted this video, this live stream on the Texas Tech Fanatics page. So you know, hope maybe he's watching. So maybe he's watching. That'd be cool.
I don't know. Maybe there are. I mean, we shouldn't. I don't know if you know anything about basketball. I could talk about basketball for hours, but let's focus
Yeah.
on something on a common ground.
No, no.
So,
Hey, I want to finish, if you don't mind. I want to finish kind
sure,
of
sure.
what happened, just because I know there's going to be some content producers, YouTube producers, or people that would like to, or that are considering getting into this business of, uploading videos on YouTube. Um, so after all the layoffs, I had lost my house. I had gone through a divorce. I'd lost my car. I had lost my banking, and I was just lost everything. I had nothing, and I finally decided, I've lost everything. I literally have nothing to lose. I might as well pursue my dreams, and that's when I bought some audio equipment and microphones, some software, and started doing voiceover work. And I found myself, and I was very fortunate to be relatively successful. I ended up kind of changing in the world of voiceovers to narrating audiobooks, narrated about 37 audiobooks in a couple of years. And that allowed me, with the royalties that I had coming in, it allowed me to travel. And my first trip was to China.
How
And
come?
well, I haven't told many people this. I actually met a girl online, not Tway Tway. I met a girl online. I forget the name of the website, who was Chinese. And I ended up going out to Chongqing to meet with her, but also to meet with, to travel to China, to experience the history, the culture, and the food. Well, I ended up loving Chongqing, and I decided I'm going to come back because I want to start producing YouTube videos. And I've always wanted to do that, but it really it went from a spark to a raging fire that I wanted to go back to China and produce YouTube videos. So I returned to the United States. I got my TEFL certificate, which is teaching English as a foreign language, because that's the quickest way to get a work visa here in China.
Of course.
Got that, came here, and started teaching. Right now, well, now I haven't taught in like 3 months, but before this, anywhere from 12 to 15 hours a week, which gave me the freedom to go out and start doing these videos. And
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. What is the age of the people you're teaching?
The, from teaching from 4 years old to about 12 years old. It's a private school. It's a national private school. It's not during the regular school hours. Students come in after school around probably 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and some of them may have classes till 10 o'clock at night. So it's the school system here is, to me, and I said this in another show, to me, education is almost the religion here. It's a very important thing. And parents, and there's a good reason behind it, because you've got 1.4 billion people that live in this country, and the competition is unbelievable. So if you are not at the top of your game as a Chinese student, going from high school into college, uh, it's going to be very difficult to land a good paying job. So parents, when they can afford, and parents will work 2 jobs, they'll work 15 hours a day just to be able to send their kids to a private school. I mean, I met a taxi driver, and they're not paid a whole lot, but I met a taxi driver who was working 15, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, very, very little time off, just so he could send his child to a private school. So education here is unbelievably important. And I will tell you too, the students uh, in private schools with foreign teachers, they're not as well behaved. I mean, they're well behaved relative to, like, Western schools. But if you see Chinese students with Chinese teachers, I mean, they're sitting like this at the table, like Soy Soy. And I wish I would have sent you this picture of it, but she sent me a picture. She's gone back to work, and all the students are sitting like this. All the students have a mask. All the students, before they enter the class, they have to wash their hands for 1 minute. And she's got like 51 students. She's an art teacher, but they're very, very disciplined, and they're, like any country, any school in the world, you're going to have those kids that cause problems. But generally speaking, they're much more well behaved in Chinese schools than perhaps other Western countries. So, and I'm not knocking other countries. I'm just saying that they've got a tight rein on them, and they
I actually have experience with Chinese students. Let me, before answer this question, guys, both channels they are linked. You find the link to both channels in the description, so you can go on, check both channels, subscribe to both of us, and we'll be super grateful. And after answering quickly this, practically in Italy, um, I work in the family shop, and I do videography, I do photography, and sometimes I do social media for some companies. And one of these company is the Montessori School. I don't know if you ever heard of this program, but practically this school has different schools around the world. They have like 5 schools in China, a couple in Australia. Everywhere in the world there is one of these schools, and it is one of the top private schools around the world. So they had this meeting in Rome, where I actually live, if I wasn't stuck here in Thailand.
Mhm.
But let's say Rome is my base currently, and they invited the students from all over the world, and I was shocked by the fact that all these Chinese kids they were able to speak great English.
Mhm.
Like I could totally feel that they had real American teachers, because until the end of high school I wasn't able to speak English in my case. I was I'm lucky because one of my relatives, my aunt, which is a Polish aunt, and now I have an uncle too. They live in Washington D.C. So probably my mother was desperate because I wasn't getting good grades in English, and
Mhm.
she sent me to summer school in US, in Washington D.C. to learn English. And I mean, this thing totally changed my life, because now I have the YouTube channel in English. I'm able to speak to everybody around the world. Otherwise, thanks to the Italian education system, I'd be in trouble. I wouldn't be able to work
Wow.
outside of Italy. It's like studying English just 3 hours per week at a super low level, where most of the teachers they are there because it's a great job to be a teacher. maybe not well paid job, but they have 3 months vacation during summer.
Hmm.
Everybody would love to have such a job. You work just in the morning and then you're free for the rest of the day. So I don't know if they are teachers by art. They are teachers by mm, economical choice and freedom of choice. But I know it applies to you too. But at least you're able to speak the language you teach, which is a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's an amazing experience to teach children English and keep up with them and get to know some of their families, and it's just like going into acting or voiceovers or choosing something that may not give you the highest paycheck, but teaching is probably one of the more rewarding things I've done. I will tell you, it's less stressful. You don't have to worry about corporate deadlines, meeting sales numbers, traveling all the time. You've got your own stress when you're teaching children, but for the most part, it's a very, very rewarding thing. Before I forget, I just thought of this. Um, so we were talking about my story and doing this YouTube channel. I had come across one of your videos where you had gotten like over 1,000 subscribers in one day, or at least in 48 hours. And I know there's some people that are watching that really want to hear this story. I'd like to. Do you have that video where you can share it and
yeah.
show these people
Le-
what you did? I don't know if you want to preference it a little bit and kind of explain what you were thinking before you did
le-
it.
let's put it in a background so we can talk about it and we can actually show it.
I think this is one of the best ideas I've seen.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna require work, but
Yeah, it totally requires work. So, you know, I've been doing YouTube for many years, in English since 2014, I believe. And between the struggle of speaking a language which is my third language actually, because I learned to speak Polish before learning to speak English. My
nice.
mother is from Poland.
Huh.
I was always trying to get noticed on YouTube, so I was watching all these videos, and you see these YouTubers on the screen, and they were explaining how to get noticed and what people do to get noticed, and they were like, "Oh, you could do ads. Oh, you should do collaborations. Oh, you should get featured in someone else's video." And or like this American kid had 11 million views. He was in his own garden under a tent, and now he has a 1 million subscriber or half a
Wow.
million. Yeah, and this kid, he was in the tent in his own garden and got viral. So it's almost impossible to get viral on YouTube. And I decided that I should try to create a viral video to gain some subscribers. I think at the time I just wanted to reach 1,000 subs. So I came with the idea, and the idea was to film the idea. So I decided to film the whole process, to uh, to involve my brother, my cousin into the project, and a friend of mine. And as you see, we tried to create this.
That's awesome, dude. I love it. I mean, it's
This this is actually our the house of my family in Italy. This is my room, and this is the in the garden of the house. We have this garage, and we used this carton box to. Actually, it makes me laugh to see this video, and
well, the cost of production was that. I mean, people think of all these, you know, wild and crazy things that cost money, and they think, well, I need to have all this equipment. I need to have this high-end camera, this high-end microphone. But I mean, you took a very simple idea to the nth degree, and that you didn't even probably pay for that box. You just probably, spent maybe an
no,
hour preparing it,
this
and then
box is my mother and my brother. They have this little shopping room in the suburbs. So it was one of the boxes where you can find the clothes, and I thought let's use what I have. And if I look dumb, better because I will get noticed. That's the garden of my grandpa, and that's my friend that helped me shoot the video. So we went to the city center of Rome, Italy, And of course, we decided to start from the Colosseum. We are like, oh, come on, the Colosseum is the best place where to start. And it was super dumb but funny. Like, this is my city. I know every corner, especially in the south of Rome, because there is a huge fight between south and Rome in Italy. People
Uh-huh.
from the north are spoiled, and us from the south are much better. but
So
but
let me ask you, when you went out, you started, is that the morning right now that we're looking at?
no, it's sunset. It's our not the middle of the day, let's say.
Middle of the Okay, so you're in the middle of the day, you've got this cardboard billboard. I keep thinking I'm going to see it's the end of, have you ever seen in the movies where people say it's the end of the world and they've got these billboards that say it? You almost
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah.
So you're out in the middle of the day. How long did it take you to hit 1,000 subscribers in this video?
So actually, I didn't hit the 1,000 subscriber with this video. I almost got there, but I needed to put 1,000 subs in the title by that point.
Okay.
So,
But you
because
obviously eventually hit that, maybe just because you posted it,
yes,
people saw it, and then you got more subscribers. So in effect,
yes.
it still worked. Not that day, but it did work.
Actually, this guy is from US, the one with the red shirt that was appearing in the video,
Uh-huh.
and he commented like 5 months after and was like, "Guys, I was that guy in that video. I subscribed when you gave me that card and when you were on the street, and he's still watching, and that's amazing." I was giving the cards to everybody, like as you can see. I
Yeah.
have this card with the name of the channel, and this is one of my favorite buildings in Rome, actually. And I love this building. You can go up there for free, totally for free. Here it is.
Wow.
You can go
Wow.
on the top
Beautiful
for free.
building.
Yeah, if you want to go to the top of the building, you need to pay. But who cares? Like you're almost at the top. You can totally see Rome. It's beautiful, but of course I couldn't go inside this building. You need to be at least dressed up appropriately, and you shouldn't use the stuff to advertise yourself. But I can go around the room, and I can get people to subscribe. I was hiding the
I think
email of this kid, but
I think it's
anyway,
a
this
great
is my
idea,
seat.
man.
Thank
I
you so
think it.
much.
I'm
Do
getting a little technical glitch. Are you still there?
yeah, no, I'm still here.
All right,
Anyway,
the audio. Now it's better now.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, it obviously does take some work, but I'm thinking of those, the content producers or people that want to be, YouTube producers. I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
I'm thinking if I were still in the United States now, obviously, we're in lockdown and something like this may not work, but when things slow down and get better, what a great way. If you're in New York, if you're in Los Angeles, a big city, or even any city, what a great idea to go out and gain some subscribers. I'm thinking if I were in the United States, I would take it to another level and I would go buy a
The billboard.
window, yeah, a window sheet for the back of my car window saying Patrick Freeman, Life in China, Patrick Freeman, subscribe to my channel. But there's so many, we're always, like I said, this is me. I thought I had to have the best camera. I thought I had to have the best microphone, the best software, the best editing. And, it's ideas like this that are very simple, don't cost any money. Yes, it does take some work, but what a great way to get I think it's brilliant, dude. I think it's brilliant.
Thank you so much. I do believe, you know what I learned? I actually had scholarships in film school in Italy for 2 years, in Cuba for a couple of months, and the thing I learned, at first I was super focused on the camera quality, and I switched 1 million cameras. But then I realized that I should have went back to my start, because I was a books writer in my past. I was writing novels, and so the idea is that storytelling is the key. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter what you, doesn't matter what camera you have. People don't care about the camera. Nobody cares.
You're right. You're exactly right,
If you
dude.
can tell a good story, like when I go live streaming on the streets, and I stream for 3 hours, even like the other day, and I had 120 people connected, and I'm trying to show something and trying to tell a story of the place, what is like life now and so on. People are there even if the quality sucks, because with the phone is moving all the time, and the audio may not be the best, there could be some wind noise, but people are there, and it is so satisfying. It's the best thing about YouTube, I think, is interacting uh, with everybody in the comments. And we have JC Max here. He came to visit me in Rome. We did a video together, and I brought him actually on the top of that building.
Oh,
So guys,
nice. Really cool.
if
That's
you check a video called American Subscriber in Rome, it's with JC Max,
okay.
and and we were on the top of this building together. Of course, Patrick, if you come to Rome, I will show you around. And if oh look, Zora is asking me if I can do the same thing in Thailand.
Do that in Thailand, the cardboard thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, dude. If it were me, not in China, I'm not on Yoku yet, which is the the Chinese YouTube version. Once I get on there and get my videos translated,
Mm-hmm.
we'll get on Youku, and I will probably do something like that. Not to steal your idea, but do something like that with Chinese on it, and walk
Look,
around in
you know,
downtown Chongqing.
YouTube, everybody is allowed to steal ideas. Just say at the start of the video, I got this idea from, and the other people, they will be happy. Like I watch lots of UK YouTubers. They always start a video saying, I got this idea from this channel. I got this idea from this channel, and then they do their own version.
Yeah.
And it always works perfectly because it's great for both channels. Like, you advertise each other all the time. Like, I don't know how many times I mentioned Alex in my videos, it's like million times. And content which is lacking right now. Like,
So, brainwashing. What do you want to hear? We want to know.
yeah, guys, if you
Brainwashing.
have if you have interesting questions in the comments, we are ready to share them with the world. And let's see. If I had the guts,
If I had the guts, I would totally do the cardboard thing. Oh, do it, Zora. Come on, Zora. Z, you can do it. Jiao, as they say in China. Jiao, you can do it.
can you imagine I do this? English is not my first language. I'm super. As a character, I wasn't like that. Before YouTube, I was like more. As I told you, I was writing novels. Like, I can actually show you something maybe. So practically, when I was going to the university in Italy, I got published for the first time, and I was like, okay, now I will become a famous author. I don't need the university anymore. That's such a stupid thought, but let me share.
It's good to
Let me
dream.
share.
It's good to
Yeah,
dream, man.
but from nobody makes money from books anymore, so I
Well,
can.
I'd have to disagree with that because I know plenty of authors, independent authors, not authors that are going through
Mm-hmm.
publishers, that are doing very well for themselves. So don't shortchange yourself, I guess, if that's the right way to say it. Don't if you have a dream to be an author and to be a successful author, then keep plugging. Just like this whole, me being in YouTube. You and I are friends with Alex,
Mm-hmm.
Reportify Media, and back in December, I was getting really sad about my growth in my YouTube channel and frustrated. Long story short, I ended up getting a call from a friend, Mikhail Larson, who's from Denmark. He's been here for like 9-10 years. He met this guy and he says, hey, he's looking for other YouTubers and wants to see if he can help. And I'm like, yeah, I want to meet with this guy. So Alex and I meet in December. We do a video. We spend the day together. He does a video, actually, which he just released a couple of days ago. And the thing's already got like 50,000 plus views on it. But, I'm relating this to the dream. Don't give up on your dream. If you've got a dream to be a famous author, hit it as hard as you can and do the things that you need to do
I'll
because you
tell
know
you
that.
what
Huh?
my dream is. My dream is to do storytelling, and one thing I learned after all this, I had a screenwriting scholarship. I had all the possibility to follow and go deep into the writing thing. but I understood that I just want to share stories and tell stories, and doesn't matter in which format I share them. I understood that about my life, and that's why I ended up on YouTube, because you should share stories in the way people want to watch, hear, or read them. And to me, the format doesn't matter anymore. I want to do videos. I want to do podcasts full time in the future. I want to write. I want to, like, if a person is different from another, I want to reach this person in every possible way. I think the
Right.
same story could be shared in all the formats possible, and I think we have to live in the present future, because in the past people maybe they were more willing to read, now they are more willing to watch videos, and my idea is I should share the story in the best way for them, not for me.
Yeah, no,
And
you're right. You're right.
I
Well,
don't know.
keep plugging,
This
man.
is the feeling. Also, look,
Ah,
this
you got
is
a book there.
yeah, one of my shirts actually. As you, my passions is traveling, words, and hidden between these letters there is the word believe, because I end up in every video saying believe in your dreams, and it's possible to buy this shirt if you want, guys. It's you will find the link in the description of most of my videos in my channel. But apart
You
this
got merch?
advertising,
Is that
yeah,
merch?
yeah, I got merch.
Whoa! I haven't
Yeah,
got that far yet, but that's something down the road that I'd like to do. Merch,
it's,
man.
you know, there is super satisfying to have merch. How do I find the link? If you want, I don't know if I should advertise myself like that, but
Why not?
uh, everything you do, if it has an impact, and if people are willing to be part of your dreams, uh, I mean, I really, I really say all the time the word satisfying. There's nothing that makes me more happy than people believing in my dreams, actually. And where is it? I can show it actually.
Merch. I like that.
Yeah, and guys, doesn't there is really nothing that makes me more happy than simply. There are people that believe in me, and I'm so glad to all the people that connected. Oh, it's amazing.
That's good, man. That's let's see. I
You
have the
see,
exact shirt.
look,
Oh, cool. Maniac Canadian. I have the
yeah,
exact shirt.
one of the top commenters on my channel.
Ah, it's the second one. Wow. So let me ask your the people that are viewing this. How important? I mean, obviously, to two people here so thus far, people have bought merch. But how important is it to you that when you come across a YouTuber that you like, how important it is that they actually have merch? So I'll pose that question. We'll wait for the answers to come in. But yeah. So do you have
Yeah.
any more questions about my? I mean, I could talk to you hours and hours about China
I
and
No, I'm more curious, more about the audiobooks world. How do you get selected to? Um, how do you get selected to do record an audiobook? What's the process?
okay. So in narrating audiobooks, it's a there's not really a university out there, but if you can read, narrate relatively well, even if you can't narrate well, you can learn how to narrate well. And then two, if you like acting, that's kind of the first thing. And then you have to have audio equipment. You have to have a quiet place in your house, either a studio. You can build a studio. You can purchase a studio, or you can actually just use your closet. A closet is a great place to do audiobooks because you've got all these clothes that act as sound absorbing
I heard
foam.
that the car is the perfect place. Shooting a
The car,
video.
actually, the car is a great place. It's a good place because the seats, if you have cloth seats, leather's a little more reflective, but if you have cloth seats, that cloth actually absorbs the sound. You just have to find a nice quiet place to record. But then you're dealing with, like, I use an Apollo Twin, which is an audio interface. This microphone, the Sennheiser 416, plugs into it, goes into the computer. If you're in the car, it's hard to do that unless you have a power source.
Of course.
If you're in the car and you're using your MacBook and a USB microphone, then yes, but you're not going to get the high quality. You won't have the opportunity to use high quality mics like this inside the car. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great USB mics out there that you can plug into a
Mm-hmm.
laptop and still do recordings. But so what I did, I did all this. And I ended up hiring a voiceover coach, Randy Hames, out of Houston, Texas, and went to his studio and narrated my first audiobook. I forget, maybe back in 2014, 2015. But what I did is I went through ACX, Alpha Charlie X-ray. That's not the, it's, I'm just giving you the letters.
What does it mean?
To be honest with you, I don't know. It's owned by Audible, which is
Okay.
Audible's owned by Amazon.
Yeah,
And
I know Audible.
it's a platform for independent authors, independent producers like myself who want to produce audiobooks. You go there, you create a profile for free, and then you start going through all the different genres that are available. And you want to, you want to audition for a genre that you would
Mm-hmm.
normally read yourself.
Of
And you
course.
just wait to hear back from the author. Well, I auditioned for my first 3 books. I got 3 offers, and I accepted 2 of the offers and did those books. And then, 37 books later, I will say there's a huge learning curve when it comes to audio engineering and editing. There's a huge learning curve, and for me, there's a lot of frustration that went into that. But long story short, I ended up figuring out how to do it. I used Pro Tools, which is probably a little more complicated than I probably should have bought. There's plenty of really cheap software programs out
Yeah, I
there.
heard it.
Yeah. So that's what I
So,
did.
like,
And
did you do novels or did you non-fiction? What is your favorite genre?
I like science fiction, military fiction. I did a couple of Christian books. I did young adult fiction, science fiction. There's been, I really auditioned for what I would find interesting. I would definitely read through the book or parts of the book to see if it's, would be something that'd be interested. But I would also, through this platform, you can check out the author on their ratings. So I would do
Okay.
research on the author and say, okay, do they have 100 2-star ratings? If they had 100 2-star ratings, if they have that, then you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on books that aren't going to sell.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
are you gonna get a percentage? Or
yes, so through ACX, ACX takes 6. So let's say a book goes for $10. An audio book goes for $10, which actually they're more than that usually, but just to make the
I
numbers
know.
easy, $10. ACX or Amazon takes 60% of that. I would get 20%. The author would get 20%.
So
So
20% from the sale.
from the sale of one book, yes.
Okay.
So you're looking at
It's better
2 books.
than the normal books actually, because the average that the author gets from the paper book is about 15%, because it's so expensive to send the books and print them and so on. So the max that you can get is about 50%. J.K. Rowling was getting 20% on some books, but all the unknown author, they get like 8%, 10% max, and depends on how many copies you sell.
Yeah.
Is there a book that you're super proud of?
There's a lot of books. I would say the 2 books that I would think of, and they were series. One is by T.T. Michael. Actually, I did several of his books. Fire War, which is a 3-book series. It's actually selling on Amazon as a package. We put it as a package on Amazon. It's a it's a political thriller, and I love his writing style and how he creates and paints a really cool story. The other guy is Kevin Lee Swaim. I did 2 of his books I think he's got 4 books. Now, actually, I think I did 3. I ended up missing the last book because I didn't get his email here in China, and he didn't think maybe he didn't think I was interested. But those are 2 authors that, Kevin Lee Swaim and T.T. Michael have been my favorite. Another one, actually, now I'm thinking about it, is Alan Black. Great writer. I did probably 2 or 3 of his books. I would probably say one of my favorite young adult books that I narrated was Titanium Texicans. And because I'm from Texas, I'm like that. This looks interesting, but it ended up being a really cool story about, a kid that comes from poverty, and it's a science fiction one. It doesn't sound science fiction, but it's a science fiction space odyssey type book. But about a young kid that comes from poverty, an abusive stepfather, and ends up becoming, well, becomes very successful by the end of the book, and it's just it's a great story for young adults and
So
even adults.
thanks thanks to the other books, you were able to move to China, and then you found a job, or you were already secured having a job in China. How did it work?
Well, by the time I came to China, I had completed like the 37 plus audiobooks. So I had a decent royalty stream coming in that gave me some flexibility to travel. So, and I will say, if anybody's interested in doing that, it's a lot of work, a ton of work, a ton of dedication, a lot of frustration. And the way that I structured my payout was royalty only. So while I was narrating these books, producing these books, uh, I was not getting paid. I didn't get paid on these books until they went live on Amazon and we
Yeah,
started
yeah.
selling them. So, um, and royalties fluctuate. I would at this point I don't depend on that income, but it's enough on average throughout the year that it allows me to pay some remaining bills that I have in the United States
I'm lo-
and some to my son who just graduated from college. By the way, my son's birthday here in China is May 3rd. So if my son is watching, Grant Freeman, you rock. Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
son. You're
birthday.
the best son in the world. I love my kid. He is my biggest, I have to inspire myself, but he's a brilliant kid, and he's such a motivating
How
factor
old?
in my life. Huh?
How old is he?
He is 22 years old.
Okay,
22.
so he's going through college,
He,
university,
he
right?
graduated. He's got I think a biology or microbiology degree.
Mm-hmm.
He was gonna be a doctor, but I think he's kind of putting that off for now. He sounds like he's got a job, which starts in September hopefully after the virus settles down in
Okay,
Houston.
okay.
So he's right now in quarantine, waiting
Let's
for
cross
things to lighten
fingers.
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very sad situation. I mean, here we have on this YouTube live stream two people who have that are from countries that have been I mean, they've been impacted greatly, and my thoughts and prayers go out to both of our countries and other countries that are dealing with this. It's a very sad situation. But link for your
Yeah,
Mikhail.
I gave the link.
Oh, you gave the link. Very cool.
Yeah, yeah. Because okay. So I was wondering, did he ever came to visit you in China? And
Shane
your
Jones,
son?
happy birthday, G from USA. We're, happy birthday, buddy. This is China. Very cool. Very cool. Gilmore Jeff, happy birthday. Guys, you rock. I love this interaction and people. Zora Z, happy birthday. Your son. Very cool. Beach Boy 619, happy birthday to your son, Patrick. Thank you, Beach Boy. I know my son, Grant, is rocking. Positive mindsets. Best wishes for you guys. Cool.
You see, that's why I love the live streams. And I mean, about thank you so much, Zora, for everything.
Awesome.
And I'm so happy to do the live streams because you can actually interact with your people, and
Yeah.
you see, like it's
Wow.
unbelievable. You support the support
Wow.
you get. It's something that like I still
What,
cannot believe it.
yeah, it's cool. What I want to know if my son's watching is did the happy birthday wishes count towards your gift, or do I still need to give you a gift? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Actually, we already bought him. Toy bought him some sunglasses. He's got those. I've got a gift here that I haven't been able to send him because packages being delivered from China to the United States is really slow right now. And
Okay,
I'm
okay.
afraid it'll lose. So I'm going to wait so Grant, if you're watching, I'm going to wait a little bit before I send you your hoodie pullover. He already knows about it, so I'm not like spoiling the gift here. On this, it's a bright yellow hoodie pullover. It says in Chinese, Adidas. and and it's like stitched in there, so it's a really cool thing. So, anyways,
Oh, okay.
so
I
do you
think
have any other questions on the audiobooks or?
no, I was just curious about the selection process. Like, I love everything about books, and I was wondering how it works. I heard about people in the same field, and like that they have to do an audition, and that the author at the end will choose. I'm so disappointed that that author didn't wait for your answer. Like, you know,
What's that again?
if he you read three books with two books with one author, but they were actually three books, and
Uh-huh.
there was another person narrating the third book. uh, it will suck for me. Like, if I'm listening
Well,
to a book, it should be the same voice for three straight books.
well, yeah, people, I mean, they all, that's what, audiobook listeners prefer is to have the same voice, as long as they like the same voice. That's important. So, yeah, I mean, and I didn't take it personal. I mean, I completely understood. I totally missed his email. I do want to say that you're talking about, like, I got a chance to meet Jerry Seinfeld. Well, when just a couple of years ago, I hired Scott Brick, and I don't know if you know the name Scott Brick, but he's out of Los Angeles. This guy is the gold standard when it comes to audiobooks. I mean, he's received tons and tons of audiobook awards. He's done like the Born Identity series. He's done Star Wars series, Star Trek series. I mean, you name it, this guy has done it. I was so blessed to have him coach me for about 6 or 7 months, about once or twice a month. We would do Skype sessions, and he would teach me, the importance of narrating and, um, content and doing research and cadence and all that kind of stuff. And if you ever get a chance, just go to Amazon and type in Scott Brick, and I think he's probably now done probably over 1,000, narrated 1,000 audiobooks, but he's known worldwide. And I don't know, I just get giddy when I think about the fact that this guy, I did paid him like $250 an hour, but
Wow.
super nice guy. So yeah, if you want to learn
So
about audiobooks, he's a good guy to learn from.
no, you know what I want to learn about, and that brings my next question.
Sure.
How do I improve my diction, because it sucks. Like, I make so many mistakes in English, and like, oh gosh.
So are you talking about how to improve for narrating purposes or just
No,
in
how
general?
to speak better without cutting words, and uh, is there any training?
The best thing to do is watch American TV, or watch British TV, depending on what kind of accent you want to watch American
No, I don't.
TV.
I don't want to lose my accent. I want to keep my accent, but I want to pronunciate a bit better the words.
Well, that's a good question, because what I would do as a narrator, when I had a 4x6 studio in Amarillo, it's not there anymore. We kind of broke it down and sent it to Oregon, where my brother's at. But when I came across a word that I wasn't familiar with how to pronounce it, I would go to How Jay Say,
How
HOWJSAY,
Jay say? Let
How
me.
Jay Say, and that's all it is. He's a voiceover artist, and you type in the word in the search menu, it pulls it up, and it has this guy pronouncing the word. So if there's a particular word that you want to learn how to pronounce, then that's, and there's other resources. That's the one that I use most of the time to help me
Okay,
pronounce the word correctly. So
thank you.
yeah,
Because I pronounce the S a bit wrong. They tell me. I
S.
don't know. Yes. I don't know. In some words,
Well,
they
um,
they say like, put your tongue up and try to do this and stuff like
oh
this.
yeah. Well, that's what I would recommend is go get on YouTube and go to how to pronounce S. And there's probably some animated video that shows you the side view of the mouth and where the tongue should be placed exactly. It's hard to do it on video, but there's plenty of resources between YouTube and Google. lots of resources to do that.
Wait, enunciate and practice vowels? What's that? What's vowels?
Vowels, O, E,
Vowel?
I.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Now I get
Enunciate.
it.
Yeah, enunciate. I think of enunciate as just saying the word, but saying it slower.
And look at this. Everybody always laughs when I try to say beach because apparently, uh,
Beach,
yeah, I
beach.
say beach. I say
You know
beach in the wrong way.
that happened. It happens here in China. I was teaching some students, and I posted a video on my Facebook,
Okay.
and I blacked out all their faces because I didn't get the permission of the parents to show their faces, so I blacked out all the
Of
faces.
course.
But I had them pronounce the word sheet, Sheet.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are Chinese students, and the first time I did it, I said pronounce. I said, okay, you're next, and the girl goes shit. And I had the other student do it, and they said shit, and the whole class is going shit. And I had the little flashcard that was below me, and then I flipped it around and I showed what they were actually pronouncing. And I said in the video, I said, I think I need to work on pronunciation a little bit more with the
So
word
I
sheet.
am a bit Chinese because, like, a sheet of paper and shit, I think I
Sheet,
pronounce them the same. But that's okay.
Yeah.
The other words, they always laugh about me when I say burgers. I don't know.
It sounds like boogers.
Sounds
Boogers in the
like
nose.
boogers. I don't know.
Boogers.
I think I pronounce it in the Italian way. Italian way. We say like hamburgers. We say that in Rome. We don't say hamburgers. We call it
Hamburgers,
like
yeah.
yeah.
In China they call it hambabao.
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 I think I'm gonna learn Chinese. And by the way, someone asked me if I am in Chongqing right now. No, it's not possible for me to travel to China right now. But as soon as the borders open,
Hey,
I'm gonna hit Chongqing. I'm gonna hit Nanning to visit Guelo, and so I will pay you dinner with the super chats.
awesome.
And
I just saw. Was it Arturo LC? Is that who just showed up and made the comment?
yeah, Arturo, let's see. I can actually show it again. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think he actually frequents I think he's a subscriber. I'm pretty sure he is.
yeah, he's also
Yeah.
asking about your new apartment.
Yes. Yeah. So, first of all, Arturo, thank you so much for being a subscriber and a follower. Very much appreciated. To answer your question, how's my new apartment? It rocks, dude. Now, okay, just for show, everybody thinks this is my room. I've done news interviews, and they go, God, that is a really nice room. You decorated very nicely. And, it's actually just a canvas. It's just a canvas backdrop. So that's not what my apartment looks like. Arturo, I'm going to work on a video to show everybody my new apartment. I love it. It's newer. It's on a different side of the mountain from Chongqing, so it's very quiet. It's a newer area. The only thing that I miss is my other apartment, which Arturo was probably referring to. It was on the 30th floor, and it had a spectacular view of the city, side of the city, I should say, and some mountains. And here I'm on the second floor. So I don't have quite the view as I did at the other apartment. But good thing is, if you look at one of my videos I did last year, it's when they had like a 6.0 earthquake. I was on the 30th floor, and I was watching TV, and all of a sudden I heard my air conditioning unit beside me kind of shake or shudder. And then I felt really
Jesus.
queasy. I'm like, am I going to faint? What is wrong with me? And I looked up at the chandelier, and the chandelier is going back and forth. And I'm like, oh my God, it's an earthquake. I grab my phone, I start filming it, and it's in the video. I start filming it, and you hear people screaming in the firewall. They're all running down, and I'm dropping. I kind of took out the language, but I was, praying to God. I was praying. I was saying the
I don't
F-bomb.
think
I
you
was.
should.
Huh?
Don't censor yourself. Don't take out the language. it's the moment is scary. It may happen, and it's part of life.
Oh, I know, but it was a
But
very
now,
surreal feeling to be in an
very.
earthquake.
So now that you're on the second floor, would you run out of the house?
If I were on the second floor, yes, I would. If it was just a jolt, then I probably wouldn't. There were several aftershocks afterwards where I was on the 30th floor. I didn't run out. And actually the first hit on the 30th floor, I didn't run out. I think it was so new to me and novel, which is weird. I was like, oh, this is in the
Mm-hmm.
back of my mind. I was thinking, I can't believe I'm experiencing this. And but the second time I left, I went down the stair. I went down 30 flights, went outside. The third one, I went down the flight of stairs, went outside. The third time, I was like, okay, that building's got to be structurally not sound. So I stayed outside for about 2.5 hours until I kind of got enough courage to go back up there. But yeah, if I were on the second floor, yes, I would definitely go outside if I could tell it was a bigger earthquake.
Are they common earthquakes in Chongqing, or it's something that it happened?
Well, it's more in Sichuan. There's a big fault line up in Sichuan. Actually, if you go back in May of 2000, it was either 2008 or 2012. I think it was 2008. There was a massive 8.0 earthquake in the Sichuan area. I forget the name of the city, but there was a city, and we went to it when I first arrived, and the city was at the epicenter of the earthquake. I stood on the top of the mound where the earth was forced up by about 40 or 50 feet. And where that took place, there was a school within 100 yards, maybe 200 yards of the fault line that was completely decimated. And they made it a big,
Okay.
it's a big tourist spot now. There's a lot of people that show up, but it's a big memorial for, there was tons of people that died in this earthquake. To answer your question, that earthquake was probably a 6-hour drive from here. They felt that earthquake in Chongqing. Chongqing is not considered a earthquake prone zone area, although we still get them. I don't know the reasoning on that, but that earthquake was big enough that they felt it in Chongqing, they felt it in Shanghai, they felt it in Beijing. That's how big that earthquake was. It was in a
Wow.
major place. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that China's got uh, has some pretty big fault lines and mountainous areas that can generate some.
We
Uh,
we have a similar problem in Italy actually because the peninsula is moving toward Serbia, Albania, Bosnia, and all the other countries. So the idea is then in some thousands of years, Italy is gonna be part of Italy is gonna be attached, and the Adriatic Sea is gonna be is gonna close,
wow.
and therefore Italy is moving a lot, and we had a huge problem with mafia regarding earthquakes. And do you wanna hear this story? It's pretty weird.
You said the
So
mafia?
practically, uh, yes, mafia and earthquakes are connected. I also made a video about that, and they were building this city which is called L'Aquila, which had a very famous university in Italy, very famous hospital, and so on. And the hospital, it is still there. The university is kind of smashed on the floor, let's say
Wow.
like this. And what they were doing, they were building the entire city because they did own all the construction companies. And when when you mix water and rocks and sand to build a house, practically they were putting less rocks than normal to save money, to recycle money,
Wow.
and so there was too much water in the walls of these houses, and that's the main reason they collapsed.
Wow. So
So
essentially, the foundations. What's it called? It's not liquefaction. Liquefaction, is that what the term is? Where the ground
no,
literally.
no. Yeah, of course, you will never see the water, but the percentage of rocks that was supposed to be inside, we call it, oh, I cannot recall the name in English. Calcius? I don't know in English.
Okay. No, I
But
know.
anyway, the mix of the things, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
The
yeah. No,
mix of the things wasn't right because they needed to save money, and it totally destroyed an entire city. Like all these people, they had to move to other places, and I think also some Americans, maybe George Clooney made a documentary about it. I cannot recall,
wow.
or a movie, or some other actor.
No, that's
So,
that's that's a shame when people
anyway,
cut corners like that. Here, our apartments, people like in the United States, and I don't know how it is in Italy, but in the United States, houses they've got obviously the concrete foundation. They have typically a wooden frame and then bricks around it. But here in China, because uh, the lack of wood, they make every home out of concrete or bricks. Yeah, John Peel got it. Concrete out of um, so like in the apartment that I'm in, the wall and above me, all the walls throughout, not just the skeleton of the apartment, but inside the apartment are a foot thick of concrete. So I don't know. I thought you'd find
mm-hmm.
that interesting. My apartment that I lived in where the earthquake happened, they say it's rated to like take a eight and a half earthquake, but we weren't far from it at a six here in Chongqing. So, but interesting story about the mafia.
Yeah, I get it. I was in Taiwan actually. There is in Taipei, one of the biggest skyscrapers of the world, and you can see this skyscraper from anywhere in the city. And practically, at the center of the skyscraper, on the top, there is like a huge ball connected with some cables. And when there are earthquakes, this huge and heavy ball is able to keep the skyscraper still, and that's a huge technology to
Oh
use.
yeah, you talking about
So
at the
practically,
base of the
it could
building?
move anywhere, not at the base, on the top of the building. On the top,
Wow,
there is
wow,
this ball. If the building goes one direction, it's gonna push the building in the other direction. You can watch
wow,
videos online. It actually one earthquake there in Taiwan. It happened while there were tourists visiting the skyscraper, because you can go visit it. You can actually see this huge ball, super heavy ball in the center of the skyscraper, and there were all the tourists. It was shaking like you were on a boat, but you were on the top of the skyscraper, and it actually moved until it finally brought the skyscraper back to the center.
wow.
And that's
Yeah, it
I
sounds like
I love
it
good
sounds like the
technology.
technology in yeah, it sounds like the technology in Japan, and I know there's probably some buildings in San Francisco and Los Angeles that they instead of putting the ball on top, they put these giant massive rollers under the building. So as the ground shook, the buildings went, kind of back and
Yes,
forth with
this
the
actually these are the two options. Make it move from the ground and also from up.
top. Yep.
If
So
you
Taipei
guys want
101, is that the
the
building?
name of the skyscraper,
Okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
I also made a video about that, of course.
Cool. Cool, man.
Like the last 4 or 5 years of my life are on YouTube in English, so you can also go check it. Japan too. Yeah, Japan is very very famous
Yeah.
for such buildings, but I do believe that in China they are built in the same way because uh, guys, like they are so tall.
Yeah, Beach Boys 619, it offsets the movement of the building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. China Crew. China Crew. Where are you from, China Crew? Zhongguo. That's all I can read. Zhongguo. I have my Chinese sucks. But Zhongguo is China. I guess Crew is whatever the other two Chinese characters are. That's
How
something I got
much?
to.
How much did it take you to pass from knowing zero words in Chinese to now being able to understand lots of it?
Well, I wouldn't say I understand lots of it or can speak lots of it, I had an interest. I've always had an interest in language. When I was in college, I minored in Russian language, um, and then I actually almost took Chinese in college too, but I didn't. I started studying Chinese before I came to China, just kind of, very casually learning through YouTube videos and Xian Shanxi province. Xian Shanxi province. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Um, but yeah, what was I going to say? It, I knew a little bit before I came here. I had a very basic understanding. It's gotten better. I probably don't give myself as much credit as I should, but I understand more than I can speak it or express it. The to me the grammar is everything's backwards. So if you want to say I want to go to the store, in English you say I want to go to the store, where you have to flip the statement in Chinese, and my mind just hasn't grasped that yet.
So can you make an example? Like how should be the sentence? I wanna go to the store. How would you say?
Let me think of something. Well, this isn't really a good example. I'm just thinking I want to go. Dear, you're a very good dude. Almost friends. What do you? You're a
Don't worry
very
about the comments. I'm just pulling up. But
oh,
let's make an example of a sentence in English.
okay. All right. So I'm trying to think of one. See, this is where my mind. It's hard for me to grasp it. Like if I want to go, I'm going to the store. 我去商店. That would be 我想去商店. I want to go to the store. It's still the same. It's still structured the same way, but there's other sentences you have to flip it. And I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on a sentence that would do that. Maybe what I'll do is at the end of this video, I'll post two different sentences, one in English and then how it's flipped in Chinese.
So
I'm sure some of our Chinese friends could.
if
Probably.
anybody knows Chinese, I'm going to the store. Maybe it's like a store. I'm going there. What is it like? If
What's the
somebody
store like, or how you're saying it?
no, how do you reverse the sentence? I'm going to the store. You put store first, and then I'm going.
Yeah, yeah. You
Or
might put the store first, or you might put an adjective first. Uh,
okay, okay.
yeah, it's just, and and one thing that I've learned with Chinese, it's almost you translate it. You don't translate it word for word. You translate concepts and ideas. So if you had two people that spoke fluent Chinese from the Western world, and they were both translating what an individual was saying in Chinese, you would not get the same response. You would have a slightly different interpretation of from those two individuals what that Chinese person is saying.
Yeah,
So, and
that's
Russians the same way. Russians is translating concepts and ideas, not verbatim word for word. Because if you translate verbatim Chinese, it's almost like a caveman language. I mean, it's very I go to store. Uh, I like
okay, okay.
I like this food. I mean, it's very and it's not a derogatory statement, but it's just a very simple language, which is surprising because they've got over 50,000 characters in the language. And not that
Wow.
all 50,000 characters are used. I read somewhere uh, I think 4 to 5,000 characters are used in Chinese, which is still a lot. Still a lot to learn, and that's it's one of the reasons why they're always constantly writing and studying Chinese characters is because of that. But if you're probably really educated and smart, you probably have a command of maybe 8 to 10,000 characters. So
Wow.
yeah,
I
it's
I read the studies about the most complicated languages, and Polish and Chinese are on the top of the list. So I already speak one of the most complicated, so I might have the possibility to learn another the other one. I don't know how much it's gonna take me. By the way, guys, if somebody has a WeChat that can activate my WeChat because I need WeChat before going to China, if you have WeChat, if you can send me an email at, I will write it in the comments at pondtrips@gmail.com. I really need to activate my WeChat before going to China. So if you have WeChat, you have my email, and please help me out because we were trying this with Patrick, didn't work, and trying this with other people, and
Yeah,
I
that's
need
it.
WeChat.
Sometimes if you live outside the country, what happened with WeChat is if you live outside of the country, and even in the country, it happens often where you get kicked out of WeChat, or in WeChat is the China Facebook version, but it's more comprehensive. You can do a lot more things on the WeChat than you can Facebook, but there's pretty high security to get into this and set up an account. And sometimes WeChat requires you to have someone else send in a
Yeah.
confirmation that you are who they say they are. What is this? You can get it by no problem with very little spoken Chinese. WeChat, Alipay is a universal language here, and everyone is fluent. Yep,
I need
wonderful,
the I
wonderful
need the
pants.
universal language.
Yeah, you know, he's right though. Wonderful pantsuit is right because you can get along. You know, look, I am the perfect example. I'm the epitome of, you know, I had all these aspirations of being completely fluent in a year, and here I am at 19 months. I'm not. You know, I know enough to do what I need to do and survive. um, I can go to the store. I can buy something. I can fumble my way through asking for something if I'm looking for something in particular. And then I've always got my cell phone that has Google Translate, and Google Translate's not the best, but it still works. It still gets the point across. I'm the example of someone who can survive in China and not have a good command of the language. Now, I will say I've really got I'm pressuring myself to start studying more because I think out of respect for the Chinese people, it's good for me to learn the language. You know, I remember living in the United States. If I ever came across somebody who lived in the United States and didn't speak um, English, and you know we couldn't communicate. I kind of get frustrated, and they're like, "If you're going to live in this country, know the language." Well, I need to live up to my own standard of expectation when it comes to knowing the language. So I'm putting for you
I
guys,
think
for
you
subscribers.
people are spoiled because you were born with English, so you don't need to learn anything else.
Well, you know, too, you know, in the United States is compartmentalized when it comes to. I mean, you got Canada, you got Mexico South. And there's quite a few people. You know, I actually speak a little bit of Spanish. I studied 2 years in high school and 2 years in college as well. But um, you know, whereas like if you're in Italy, if you're anywhere in Europe, you know, it's almost essential that you know, like you yourself. I mean, you know Polish, Italian, and you know English, and yeah, I think it's important to, especially in Europe, to know several languages. So, but being that I'm here, I need to slap my
to
hand and say, "Get to work, start studying." Patrick Freeman. Belinda Andrews asks, "Can people support themselves financially as YouTubers?" Let me share. I'll share my story, and then you share your story because you're much further ahead than I am. So, Belinda, I am. I just got my 1,000 subscribers. I'm at almost 3,000 subscribers now, but about a month ago, I hit 1,000. Maybe 2 months ago, I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is one of the requirements that YouTube says that you need to have in order to be a content producer to make money or monetize your channel. The second option is you have to have at least 4,000 viewed hours. And I'll break it down in minutes because on some of the applications in YouTube, they do it by minutes, but you can do it by hours. But that's 240,000 minutes of viewing. And I just surpassed that 3 days ago, and I'm waiting for it to be approved. They say it's going to take a bit, like you were talking earlier, it takes about a week to get approved. So, can I am I making money right now on my YouTube channel? No, I am not. I'm doing all of this for free. You know, I've started putting affiliated links in the description section below of the camera equipment that I use, the sound equipment that I use, hoping to get, you know, some type of small commission from the sale of somebody clicking on that link. I haven't made any money yet, either way, but yes, you can. You can make money, but you have to have a lot more followers. You have to have a lot more subscribers and viewers. Um, I'll ask you, are you making money now on your channel? I mean, I know you're at
Yeah,
close.
yeah, making money. By the way, Alex is saying that you need to activate this version, but you're not monetized yet. You need to wait for
Yeah,
YouTube.
Alex, I can't monetize yet. I just looked right before the show to see if
So
I got approved, and I'm not approved yet.
yeah, yeah, you need to wait like a week, like a week. So I can answer this question. I was answering this in a couple of videos ago. This month I made 150,000 views, which, if I was on TV, a channel that makes 150,000 views on a normal TV cable, I would have been paid like thousands of dollars to appear as an advertisement on such a TV. But on YouTube, it depends on the country they are watching you from. So if they use the VPN from US, it's better than if they connect from Thailand. Because 1,000 views from Thailand, they could be 80 cents, and 1,000 views from the US, they could be $3. And if it is a financial channel about credit cards, it could be even $15. But most of the views now they are down. No, not the views, they are down. Most of the money are down because of Corona. So with 150,000 views, I made like $150, which is nothing. Like in Europe, with the same views, I would make $500, and I'm grateful anyway. The best way, I let's say, YouTubers can be financially supported by you viewers. There is no other way around it. All the money that they come to YouTubers, they come through the donations or through the merch, or if you are a big channel, through the sponsor.
Yes.
Nobody can. Even channels that have 100,000 subscribers, it's very hard to live thanks to the YouTube money. The YouTube money are so little. As I told you, 150,000 views, $150 right now. When on TV you get thousands to
Yeah.
advertise to the same amount of people, and
You
well,
know, if I can throw something in too,
sure,
to like, I guess for Belinda's question, yes, you can support yourself financially, but don't depend on ad revenue straight from YouTube to make a living off of. What YouTubers are doing now is what I would call they're diversifying their YouTube business. So they have different forms of income. Like I mentioned, they're putting affiliate links in the description section on Amazon, and they have to set up an Amazon affiliate link. And when that person clicks on that link, it takes them to Amazon and that person buys it. They get, maybe 3%, 5%. I don't know the exact number. So that's one avenue through YouTube that they're making money. They're making money on the ad revenue, but then they're adding other links. And I'm going to start doing this as well. For those that want to donate to like a Patreon account or through PayPal, you can make money through that as well. Yeah, there you go. Best way to support. There you go. Best bang for the buck.
I
Where
agree.
you can make, and I don't know if they're. I'll have to find out. But I think in the United States, I think through Patreon that those are tax deductible. Don't quote me on that, but I think we'll have to double check. But
I don't
there's
know. I'm not American, so
well, I don't know if it's the same thing in Italy, but I think it's considered a donation. But I'll have to check and confirm that. We'll put that in the description section. But not
yeah.
only that, you've got, like you said, sponsorships. You might have a big organization, a big company call you up and say, "Hey, Patrick or Mikael, we love your videos. We want you to sponsor to do a promo for the first 20 seconds in the beginning of of your next video, and we'll pay you X amount for it." So the key is Patrick show his WeChat, like Alex suggested. Ken Wigger. I don't know how you I don't know how you do that, to be honest with you.
Really?
Ken.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe
I,
next
I
time. So, do you have the WeChat code with all the? Yeah, there is your pick in the center, and then there are like strange
oh yeah.
things
I think
around.
I do. Maybe I can just post it later, like in the link. I don't know if that's possible or not.
Yeah, you can post it later as a link. Oh, we have
Okay.
Wonderboy Jeremy connecting. Welcome. You can post it later as a link, but if you do, you have a screenshot somewhere on the computer or something, and we can pull it up or not.
Well, on
Because
mine, what I'm afraid of, as you know, I've had some technical problems, and
okay,
I'm very
okay,
happy.
and don't touch
I
the
I
computer.
don't want to touch anything. We were for the viewers. We did a show yesterday, and my computer just crashed. I mean, like right as I was getting to go into my eating the funky foods, it just crashed. And I ended up cleaning it up. It seems to be doing better now, but I don't want to touch anything and then kick myself out. Darren Ramsey, I want to help Ponte any way I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I
In
guess
any moment, in no time,
ah,
I have no idea.
so well, hopefully we've answered her question, but I'll have to say it's a lot more work than I thought. That shouldn't be Darren
I I want
watching
to
the whole
explain
video.
this comment.
Sure, go ahead.
So, guys, if you want a video to go viral, there are multiple ways. The best way is to watch the whole video twice, and I'm serious regarding this. And by watching twice, I mean you can let it go on the computer. And the most important thing on YouTube is watch time. The ads, they pay you when you hit the 30 seconds mark. When you hit the 30 seconds mark, we get 5 cents, 10 cents, depending on the nation you're watching from. So if you're able to watch an ads or to let the ads go for at least 30 seconds, the long ads, we get paid. And that's how it works. But if you want to make a video viral, like, comment, and let go the video twice on your screen.
And share it too. Share it with
It's
the like.
unbelievable because everything is watch time for YouTube.
Yeah.
The algorithm picks up watch time.
Yeah, share. I mean, there right below the screen, the YouTube screen, there's a little arrow that's kind of like pointing like this. Click on the arrow, and it'll say share. And there's different options. You can copy the link, and you can take that link. You click on the button to copy link. You take it to Facebook. You take it to LinkedIn. You take it to all these different social website or platforms. Do a paste and say, "Hey, I saw this video, thought it was great. Guys, take a look at it." That's another way to do it. And I have to get your feedback on. I was going to do an not an introduction video of me monetizing my channel, but just explaining what has happened and thanking everybody for the support. But hey, you're going to now start seeing ads in my videos, and I just encourage you, if you don't mind, if you have the time, if it's I don't plan on putting on like 2-minute videos. I don't know what's the best thing to do, but I'll probably do short ads at first. But my request is, we don't get paid right now to produce these videos, and I'm spending probably 20 plus hours a week editing, filming, not getting paid anything. So if you could do me a favor, watch the ad and know that it's going to a worthy cause to help me grow this channel, help facilitate the cost of production. So what do you think about me saying something like that? And I'll ask everybody that's watching this, what do you think? Does it sound
Okay, wait. I have to tell you something. By YouTube rules, by the book rules of YouTube, you cannot tell people to watch the ads. But,
well, then that answers the question. I need to.
but
So,
guys, show that you're
that.
interested in the ads.
Neg that. Do not, just skip over it. Just skip over it.
Usually, if YouTube is good, you are probably interested in that ad. So probably the ad will fit the things you're searching on the internet. So maybe you should be interested.
I really need to research more on. I read it a while ago, but I don't. Now that you mentioned it, I'm like, okay, that's probably So scrub that.
I have a couple of questions I want to answer. Someone in the comments asked, how do I know Polish? My mother is from Poland, and I have lots of vlogs from Poland. I have the Polish passport too, so if someday I will do something illegal, I will run away to another country.
Nie говорите по-русски.
I do understand it. I understand many words, but they are different. Like, if I say resumium, do you understand? Like, no, okay. Resumium means I understand. Anyway,
I just spoke Russian to him. Do Italians dislike Americans like the French do? Hey, be nice. I was in Germany and they seem to love Americans. Just asking for a friend. Thanks, Shane Jones.
So
that's
Shane,
that's an American name.
Yeah. Shane? I'll tell you what is the problem. Lots of Americans, they come to Italy and they behave like shit. And they scream on the streets, they are super loud, and they do not dress up properly, or like they go inside the churches naked or something like that. So when you hear people speaking bad about Americans, it's mostly regarding these experiences, which I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you appreciate what I do or what Patrick does, and therefore you know how to behave properly. If you know how to behave, I mean, they might be most of the people in Europe. They might be mad about your politicians because they interfere with Europe or Italy or Germany. When you make a law in US that is strong that affects us, then yes, you get lots of people mad. But in general, I mean, we live thanks to tourists in Italy, so we are super grateful. And if you're not the typical loud American that screams like crazy, like a pig on the street, everybody is happy that you're in Italy, and we are very grateful that you choose our nation to come and visit, and you are actually supporting our economy. Therefore, I'm grateful too for every tourist that is in Rome. I love my city, and without the tourists, it wouldn't be the same.
You know, I
So
have to say that it's kind of, it's not like a French against Americans or French against Italian or Italians against whatever other country. I think it's just a human nature thing, you know, and that's like one of the reasons I do my videos is because I want people to see China from the inside, the culture, the people, the food, the way they act, the way they interact with each other, to show that number one, they are just like, I mean, they're humans and they have the same aspirations, the same emotions, the same goals, the same problems that we do in, the Western world. But I think it's just recognizing, I want people to travel, whether it's to China, whether it's to Italy, somewhere in Europe. I want them to travel there because what happens is when you have someone go from the United States or Canada or some other country into another country and they're immersed in that culture, in that language, there's a new level of respect that is raised for that particular that host country that you're traveling to, and there's a deeper appreciation for who people are. And I will say, if I could, for however many Americans are watching this, the way that I look at myself being in this country, I'm a guest and I need to behave. And I behaved in the United States. Now, obviously, I was probably a little more opinionated and that kind of thing, but here I'm a guest and I'm an observer. And I think that's the way Americans need to be in Italy. I think that's the way they need to be in France. But I also think there needs to be from, Italy or France, I think there needs to be like I don't want to say a forgiveness, but just a little higher level of patience with Americans or any other visitors that are coming into your country. That's
there is it's like sometimes um, you guys end up on the news. like
you know,
the problem is on the news they end up only the bad situations, like two Americans 20 years old, they stabbed a police officer in Italy a couple of months ago, and it's normal that they end up on the news, and then people they are like confused. What are they doing? They were trying to buy drugs, and the police officer was a fake drug seller, and they stabbed him. So I don't know, but of course it's. I mean, let's talk about something positive.
yes.
So you should have a look at Tech Lead. I know Tech Lead, the channel. He's an Asian American guy. He makes lots of money on YouTube. Yes, he has merch and stuff. Making financial video, guys, he gets paid 10 times what travel vloggers get paid. So he makes millions of dollars. And then, if you speak about credit card on YouTube, you are the richest YouTuber ever. And there is someone suggesting Graham Stefan. Graham Stefan speaks about credit card. He makes $15 per 1,000 views when I make $1 per 1,000 views.
So why is that? Why does he make that much money?
Because a credit card advertisement, they pay per click 15 times more than what they would pay in ads from Thailand.
So a YouTuber could specifically say, I only want credit card advertisements on.
No, no. If you make credit card videos, you get credit card
Oh,
advertisements.
oh, oh, got it. Okay, I got it. Now I understand it. I'm sorry.
And
I'm sorry.
guys, Graham Stefan always asks to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and do that because it helps a
Yes,
lot.
smash. I say do a Hulk smash. Hulk smash. Smash it real hard. Well, don't smash it real hard because then you'll mess your computer up or your phone
Ken
up. But
Wigger is super funny always.
Ken
Gosh.
Wigger, that's a little far out there that I don't want to address it. So I don't know. Well, I want to ask you about your personal life, but we'll just keep going. So, One Crazy Nation, the Maldonados, LOL. I guess they're just laughing at what Mr. Wigger said.
I never heard of Giorgio Bettinelli. I don't know who is this guy.
Have you heard of Giorgio Bettinelli? He's the Italian. He's the only Italian I've met. He's traveling. He's a traveling. So he may be Giorgio may be a YouTuber as well. YouTuber as well. UK is alias with American, Italy plus France, Germany, Spain. We're sitting here reading it, guys. So do things the right way. We have population of France, so I get confused to why UK is small. What?
I think I get the comment. Yeah, Italy has 60 million people, Germany 80 million people, France 60 million, I think Spain about 50 million. So yeah, UK doesn't have a big population, and you associate it with the US, but I don't know. The whole of Europe could be associated with US as if it is regarding to population.
Hmm.
Uh, People think UK is small, it's huge. It's kind of small compared to the rest of Europe. How about debit cards? Probably every card.
So if you make
Oh,
videos
look!
about thinking of making a credit card video, yeah, China Crew, you and
I
me
I
both.
actually I
Hey,
actually
China Crew, let's
suggested
do
it.
a collaboration.
I actually suggested it to Alex. Make a unboxing credit card video about Chinese credit card. I will do that.
Unboxing video. Is it just me? And I'm actually going to do an unboxing with some of the camera equipment that I have. But is it just me? But is an unboxing just kind of silly?
It's
I mean,
silly.
but silly to okay. I'm going to open the box to show you what. I mean, everybody knows what's in the box. Why do we have to do this whole drama thing of filming opening the box and commenting? Okay, this is a USB cord. Look at this. It's kind of rubbery, and it's got looks like stainless steel plugs at the end. Oh, and look at this microphone. I mean, it's really light and
You
commenting on
know,
it. That's too funny.
the biggest unboxing channel is a kids channel. They unbox toys, and they make about 25 million per year unboxing toys.
About
Yes,
what?
$25 million per year unboxing toys.
Unboxing toys. Wow.
Yeah, it's a kids channel because all the toys that they come in, they are sponsored. So I think they are
Wow.
saying 25 million, but probably they go for 50. Thank you so much, Randy. You know, I put lots of hours into editing. My videos in general, they take about 15 hours between shooting, thinking, and editing. But depends on the video, of course.
Wow. Yeah, I think we need to do a collab on some unboxing of toys.
Again, UK. Yeah, 68 million is a lot. Let's see now that you are out of Europe if people are gonna leave the country so much or not. I don't know, it's gonna be complicated. More beers for the pub chat.
Nice. Nice. One
Yeah.
Crazy Nation, the Maldonados.
The, the,
Is that like their YouTube channel or is that just the name that they kind of read?
they have a small YouTube channel, but it's a great family from California, and they just subscribed to your channel. They wrote it in another comment.
I
So when
love
you will see them in
it.
the comments, they are coming. Guys, if you go to see Patrick's video, tell.
That's a kiss from China to
Oh,
One Crazy Nation for
don't
subscribing
scare
to
us
my
away.
channel. I love you. I love you a lot. I love you a lot, Johnny.
We love you all and wish for peace and happiness for all. I do agree 100% sure.
Yes, yes. I mean,
I wish the world peace full time because I really want to travel everywhere, and I think we should be one planet, not a
yeah.
million different nations.
Hey, you know the hometown that I am from, Amarillo, Texas. and it may have changed, but last time I looked, it was like number 7. Actually, it may have been like number 5 or 6 on number of cases, like an increase in cases. I forget what the actual number was percentage, but it was they're like number 4, no, excuse me, number 5 or 6 in the nation for an increase in cases. And this town is small. Amarillo, Texas is like 120,000 people. You've got maybe in the surrounding maybe 100-mile radius, total of maybe 4 or 500,000 people, but a small town. So I just want to say, Amarillo, I love you. Be safe. Wear the mask if you can get the mask, and isolate. I know it's tough when you're not making money. I know it's got to be tough, but isolation works. It really does, and I hope that federal government can come in and help everyone that is struggling right now in this situation, and of course the people that are sick, and for the families that have had somebody die. So, and the same thing for Italy. I mean, you guys got sucker punched by this thing. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, fortunately, I do not know any person affected by corona. Like, not even one.
And so,
Like,
do you have any family that's got corona or?
no, nobody. They are in the north of Italy, mostly. In
Hmm,
the center and the south, we are fine.
okay, okay. Well, sounds like
Guys,
they.
I do love Casey Neistat. It's one of the reasons probably half of the YouTubers started YouTube with Casey Neistat. And wait, there was something interesting over here. Last thing about UK, yeah, people think it's small because it's an island, but they think that it has a small population. But because just in US, everybody's so spread around that. So you have 350 million people, they have 60 something,
Hmm.
and in such a small place. But
Well, you think
well,
like here in Chongqing, there's over 33 million people that live here, and we only, I think, e- from when things really slowed down, we didn't break the 600 mark. We didn't have
that's
more than
beautiful.
600 people.
That's
Greetings from
beautiful.
California, great white plant eater. Greetings from California, toilet paper capital of the world. Yes, that I don't get. Why? Why the panic on toilet paper? Great white plant eater. Why? I mean, you got to think it. And I did some videos on this and got very passionate about the subject. But if you don't have food to eat, the toilet paper is not going to do you a whole lot of good. If you get my drift, you know what I'm saying? The toilet paper is not. You're not going to have any fecal material coming out. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get the whole toilet paper thing. It should have been food. It should have been rice. It should have been beans. It should have been non-perishable foods that they should have panicked on as opposed to toilet paper. There's just they reversed the order of what they needed. But yeah,
I
great toilet
think
paper.
it's because you guys in America don't have the bidet,
The
or
bidet,
or
the
yeah.
bidet, the bidet. That's how they say it.
You know what
Bidet.
is a bidet?
Yes, I know what the bidet is. Of course, I know what the bidet is. You fool! I know what the bidet is. Do you know what the bidet is?
Most people do not know.
I know
I
what the
remember one
bidet.
guy that came in Italy and I was showing the hodler. I was like, "What is that for?" I was like, "Okay,
I will
let's
say
start this little lesson."
the first time I don't know, I don't remember. I was in some fancy hotel, maybe in New York. This is when I was in the investment world. I
Hmm.
walked in and I'd never seen one before. I mean, I'd heard what they were, and I walked in and I took a double take, and I'm thinking to myself, why are there two toilets in the bathroom? What's up with this? And then I like 5 seconds later, I'm like, okay, that's a bidet. That's a bidet. Yeah. The now, like the Japanese, they've integrated into regular Western toilets. They've integrated the toilet seat that has the bidet option. And
Yeah.
I think you'll
Y-
probably, if people worried about toilet paper, that you go to Amazon and buy yourself. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a affiliated link for a bidet on my YouTube channel for those in the United
you know,
States that are concerned.
in
Huh?
Asia, in Southeast Asia, they have the pistol next to the bidet. You can actually buy this cable with the pistol
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, I've
attach it
seen
to
that.
the water thing.
I've seen that. I've seen a
Guys,
couple.
if you finish the toilet paper, there are solutions.
I've seen some of. Do you know what a redneck is?
No.
Okay,
I
so
have no
in the
idea.
United States, we have what we call rednecks, and it's typically in the South, and it's the people that are live in the rural area. They're the kind of the country hicks. But I've seen some on Facebook, some where they actually took the garden hose and they connected it to the water outlet, and that's what they consider the redneck bidet is a water hose, a water garden hose with a spray head on it, and
Okay.
that's what cleans them off. So yeah, yeah,
So
bidet.
let's answer some question. Randy, yes, absolutely. I want to go to India. I had a friends waiting me, but they canceled my visa, and therefore, as you know, I am in Thailand. But I will go to India. This message is for you, Patrick.
Arthur Crego, please don't kiss me. I subscribe to. My wife is very jealous. I've got some lipstick over here at Toy Toy, my girlfriend's little drawer here.
Oh no, no.
I can make it more attractive if you like. But yeah, long live the queen. Yes. Hope to see more travel stuff to help us through this time where we can't travel, which is what most of us enjoy. That's that you live vicariously through people like us to help you get through it. And if anything, hopefully it inspires you and gives you hope that there is a light at the end of the tunnel in all of this. There really is. It's going to be over. But in the meantime, continue to watch us. We'll continue to encourage you and show you things that you'd never seen before. But the deal is, if you're going to watch our stuff, you have to agree to come to our respective cities and visit us. All right? That's, you know.
By the way, I met this guy, Philip. I met
Oh, you
him.
met Philip. Wow, cool.
He was, yeah, he was the one that I spoke before. I said that during one live stream in Pattaya here in Thailand, he wrote to me and he was like, "Where do you live? I am here in this city," and we were one hotel next to the other, like 3 meters away from each other. It was incredible. I have a couple of videos with him, and here is Belinda, probably your subscribers.
Belinda Andrews. Yeah, I've seen her before. So thank you, Belinda, for showing up. Appreciate it. Patrick Freeman needs to be smarter and learn how to make money from YouTube. You shouldn't be doing it for nothing. Everyone's time is worth something. Belinda Chayo, thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that because there's been a lot of work. The problem, Belinda, is I can't monetize my channel yet. Although I'm putting affiliated links, I am going to start asking for Patreon. I've got a Patreon link. I'm going to ask for PayPal donations, and it's like, if you don't want to give donations to either one of those platforms that I'm going to use, that's okay. Continue to watch the videos because I'm going to continue to do this. But I agree with you. In the back of my mind, there's times that I'm like, I'm doing a ton of work. I'm not getting paid to do it. But the problem is, I love what I'm doing, so I'm going to continue to do it. And eventually, yes, I will. I will be much smarter and start making more money from YouTube, so we can make more and more videos and upgrade the editing, upgrade, hire more people, hire marketing, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you, Belinda.
Yeah, yeah.
I appreciate you
The
validating my.
more, yeah, if we get support, we can travel more for sure and make it become a full-time job. And oh wait,
One Crazy Nation had 10 patients. I had
did
10
they
patients.
probably means that they survived or
I don't know. I think
they are okay
it
now?
makes me think expired. 10 patients expired from COVID. Maybe that means they died.
We'll see.
Hmm.
He's a doctor in California, and
Okay.
they
Well,
always
prayers.
ask me this, Mike. I put the mask in the washing machine yesterday night. If I don't have the washing machine ready, I do the shower with one of my many masks.
Good morning,
Le-
China
Let's
and
see if there
USA.
is something else. I cannot keep track of the comments. Wait one moment.
Well, that for the person in California or anybody that's a frontline, whether you're a doctor, a nurse, or you're working in that environment, lots of kudos to you guys and ladies for having the courage to do what you're doing. I can't imagine. My brother's a doctor in Oregon, John Freeman, and he's in Medford, Oregon. Fortunately, right now it hadn't gotten bad, but I know some other doctors in throughout the country that have been dealing with it, and they say it's tough. I know nurses too on my Facebook. a lot of nurses in Amarillo that are starting to deal with this, and they say it's not fun. And anyways, kudos and thank you to the frontline people in throughout the world that are dealing with this and fighting it for us. So
Yeah, in Italy it's also the same problem. The frontline people are the one getting like 10% of the people getting COVID is doctors, nurses.
uh-huh.
Uh, Maybe 10% is too much, but
So hey, I don't know how
I
long.
love this thing, guys. That
Go ahead.
I think no, I love that everybody. I love that my subscribers and your subscribers agree on having peace around the world. I think okay. I think probably that's what Patrick. You sound like Miguel. Anyway, guys, I think that's enough for this stream. We I mean, we could go
Two
on
hours,
forever because there are comments coming. But
2 hours and 15
yes,
minutes. Wow.
we
Ugh, that's like the
yes.
longest live stream
So
I've ever done.
really,
Oh yeah.
welcome to my world.
Wow. I was thinking.
So guys,
Go ahead.
no, go.
No, I like I've never had a 2 hour live stream. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. Very cool. I'm glad that people stuck around with us, and hopefully they learned something in the process of our conversation. So yeah, love China. Love China. I do love China. Randy
Yes.
Dragants.
I'm not in Chongqing yet,
No,
guys.
Mustafi is not.
I'll go
I'm
there.
in Chongqing though, but he's going to be coming soon. So thank you, great
So
white
guys,
painter. Thank you. I won't kiss the screen this time. I'll just do this.
I I hope you guys have subscribed to both channels. I hope you will go in the channel descriptions to check the Patreons if you want to support and get the merch too. You guys are the best,
Yes.
and we are super grateful for this moment. Spending 2 hours with you is much appreciated, and I don't know what else is to say. I do you want to say something or?
No, I'll just say first of all, thank you for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and it's been fun, man. I mean, it's nice to be able to disconnect from the world for a little bit and just talk about our lives. And either way, thanks for having me, and I want to thank all the subscribers and viewers that came in and the comments. And looks like plenty of donations have come in. Hopefully, the next one I'll be able to make a little money off of it. But either way, I love doing it. I'd still do it for free. I love doing this, and I love interacting with all the viewers and things that you're saying. So thank you guys very much. And last but not least, just know that here in Chongqing, prayers are being sent worldwide for everybody that's in quarantine. And I love you. I love all of you. You just hang in there. You'll get through it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It'll come soon. So just hang in there. That's my Jerry Maguire speech.
Okay. So I'm getting comments that we subscribe to you, and guys, hit that like button, comment, watch our videos, subscribe. If you have the possibility, let the videos run on your screens, even if you're not watching them. It's the best way to support our channels. And therefore, as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep reading and believing in your dreams. Ciao.
Ciao.
You want
Make
to
sure to
add
share
something?
it.
Go.
Share it. Do go to the YouTube, click share, take it to Facebook, take it to LinkedIn, all your social platforms, and share. Like maybe one of your favorite videos, and say, "Hey, we watch these guys on live stream. We liked it. Here's one of their videos that they're doing in Italy or in Chongqing." But sharing really helps a lot. That like it goes out 6 degrees of separation if you do that. So that would be much appreciated, guys. You too, Arthur. Stay healthy.
Okay.
All right, man.
Yes, I'm staying in Alex's office. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. We are super grateful. We need to close it, otherwise we'll go on forever. Like and subscribe, comment, watch, share. Thank you so much. Ciao ciao.